Hi there, Phil Simborg for the USBGF. As some of you who may know me may know that I occasionally, on rare occasions, like to play backgammon for money and maybe for small stakes, just to make it interesting. Backgammon's really a great intellectual exercise, but some of us sometimes like to make small wagers. So uh, often when we are playing for money in what's called the chouette is a grouping of three or more players playing at the same time. It's usually one player against the rest, and you rotate. If you win, you stay the one player that's alone or the box. Well, this came up in a one such game, and we have a habit in our game of uh, we're all pretty decent players. We all care very much about improving our games. So when there's a disagreement about a play, we usually make a little side bet, sometimes 25 cents, sometimes 50 cents, sometimes a little more. The amount isn't important. But this is a position that came up in the Chouette. As you can see, I was playing Herb Roman, very nice player, probably the best player in the world that hasn't won a major tournament. He plays extremely well and just doesn't get lucky or blows it in the major tournaments. He did win uh, a Chicago event recently, a charity event that did pretty well, but none of the majors. So I keep buying her because he goes at a good price. He really deserves to better recognition for his skills. And Herb and I and a couple of others disagreed on this play. Well, it's pretty obvious that the four you come in, and the debate, of course, was whether you continue or you hit the second, you hit two, hit the second checker. So again, money game, cube in the middle. What's your play? Do you hit and go out, or do you hit the second checker and hit two? Okay, hitting two is fun. Hitting two gives you a chance to really take the offense. Hitting two gives you a chance to unstack. Hitting two is very wrong. As a matter of fact, it's about a 6% error, not quite a blunder, but a pretty bad play. Why don't you hit two? Well, if you are not successful and you get hit back, you're unhappy. And if you're successful and you don't get hit back, you're not too happy either, because now you've got a checker down here on the 2 point where you don't want to be. Uh, you also give him the chance to uh, come in and take the offense more. He's got a stronger board than you. He's got two inner board points, and having the bar point also is stronger than you're having the 8 point. So you really don't want to get into the hitting battle right now unless you've got a really good reason to do that. You're trying basically to run here. You're not trying to get into a hitting game right now. And again, this point is too deep. Well, you should always test your hypotheses. If this checker wasn't here and you could hit two, would you? Let's put this checker here. Now you have the four. Would you come out or would you hit the second checker? Well, my hypothesis was that one of the major reasons you don't hit two here is you don't want to end up with a 2 point or a checker on the 2 point. This is a different story. And if my hypothesis is right, you should hit two here. Let's take a look. Bingo, you hit two here. Well, let's keep testing the hypotheses. What if this checker was here and you rolled, oh, say a 4-5, and you could hit two? Again, is this too deep, or is this a good place to hit two? Come in with the four and hit here with the five. I think it's still a little bit too deep. I think we're getting closer. I'm getting more excited about hitting two. I would have a little more trouble with this play, but I still think it's wrong. And it is wrong. And again, it's getting close now, only about 3%. Let's push the envelope. Let's put it up to here, and let's make the roll a 4-2. Now you can come in with the four and hit two. Would you hit two here? You bet your bottom I would. I really would love to make my 4 point. I do have five checkers here I'd like to unstack. This is a good place for me to try and make the second point. I'm hitting two here very quickly. Let's see if it's right. 10%. So we've established that you don't hit two here. You do hit two here and here, and here we're getting close. And here it might even be right at right scores, or if the stack were different. What if the stack were different? This is where we didn't hit with a 4-5 and it was wrong by 3%. Let's really make it more interesting to unstack the 8-point. Now would you hit with a 4-5? Now it looks pretty exciting. Now I really do want to unstack here. Now it's right by 4%. So it's not just where these two checkers are here. I made a one checker movement and it changed the play by about 7%, from 3% wrong to hit to 4% wrong not to hit on this point. So this also illustrates another good point, and that is you don't win this game, you don't become great at backgammon strictly by memorizing positions. Are you smart enough to remember this position versus this position? I'm not. I can't remember these positions to where if it came up in 6 years or a year from now, which one you hit and which one you don't. But I am smart enough to learn and understand the principles involved and learn and understand the theory behind it. So that's how I learn and that's how I teach. Now, there are certain reference positions that you absolutely have to know. I was fascinated that Michi from Japan has 10,000 reference positions that he studies. Francois Tardieu had 2,100 that he carried with him. Um, Lots of us have reference positions. I'd like to, I know that, well, let's compare me to Michi. I may have 100 reference positions and he has 10,000. He's one of the best players in the world and I'm down on the list. I'm working at it. I'm coming up, but uh, that maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you do need to study more reference positions, but I think you need both. I think the answer is you need to know the concepts, you need to test the concepts, you need to understand the why behind each play, and I would bet anything that Michi would agree with that hypothesis as well. Hope this helps you understand not just this position, but how we learn, how we study positions. And then one of the best ways to learn is to change the position, to move it around. I learned this from Neil Kazaros and Knack Ballard and a few other teachers that I've had, that almost every time you show them the position and you see the play, they will change something. They'll change the score and say, well, what would you do at double match point? What would you do if we were on gammon go? They change the position like I just did, or they change the role like I just did. That's how you can really understand the plays a lot better. Hope this was interesting and helpful to you. I'm not going to tell you who won the bet against who. I will tell you that Herb was on the right side of the bet, and I was not in the bet. I didn't get a chance to make the bet. I was the one who made the play, but thankfully I played it right. In this case, I was right. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.